What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Phaithful Phanatics Show. We are live here, as always, on the DSM-Media Twitter page, as well as the DSM Philadelphia YouTube channel. If you guys are new to the channel, if it's your first time checking us out, make sure to check us out on Twitter first at DSM_media is where you can find us. Hit that follow button. And then, of course, if you want to be interactive throughout today's live stream or any one of our shows on the channel, make sure to go to the link tree in our bio over on Twitter and check out the YouTube link for the DSM Philly page. You can see it pulled up on the screen right below me right now. Hit that subscribe button, share it, like it, whatever you got to do. We greatly appreciate each and every one of you that tap in. I'm one half your host, Dylan Davis. To my right, my faithful co-host, Scotty. The Sixers 2-game losing streak as Joel Embiid exits the lineup again with an oblique injury. They get blown out last night at home by Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs. The third time this year they have lost at the Xfinity Mobile Arena by 40 plus, making NBA history for the wrong reasons last night. VJ Edgecombe takes a hard spill landing on his back. He's out tonight versus Utah and will be reevaluated heading into the weekend. They have a half-game lead in the 6th seed above the Heat and the Magic, respectfully, to stay out of the play-in tournament. And not just that, they have teams like the Hawks and the Hornets sitting in the 9-10 marker that are only 2.5 games behind the Sixers right now. And with all these injuries piling up, Kelly Oubre Jr. sick, we're going to get a level, guys. We're going to get a level of your concern with the Sixers season as we are into March now, as the playoffs approach, because what was once a fun season, a more promising season, you know, with an Eastern Conference wide open, like we all thought, with Joel looking like he did, with Maxey being an all-star starter, vibes were pretty high for a while. And I got to admit to you, Scotty, to start it off, I'm out. Like, I don't know how this team can bounce back. I don't know how this team can sustain enough consistency, sustain enough comfortability together on the court, right? Because as we know, of the last 3 seasons, 60% of the games Joel Embiid has missed since 2023, 2024. His entire career spanning back to 2014, 15, 16, since he started playing for the Sixers, he's missed about 1 out of every 3 or 4 games. So we know this story, and we kind of lived it. But then you add in a Paul George 25-game suspension, and you add in guys getting sick, and you add in VJ hitting his back. And it's just, I'm at the point, man, where this team has returned to being a team that is unwatchable when Joel Embiid's not on the basketball floor. And that's a scary thought as we head into the last, 20, little less than 20 games in the season. So I'm having a tough time being inspired by this injured team right now.
Yeah, no. And I'm obviously with you there. You could probably tell by some of my facial expressions to start the show. I'm just kind of distraught with this Sixers team, man. Just from top to bottom, quite honestly. You know, obviously the Joel injuries. We talked about PG weeks ago. It's still like suspended for drugs. Like, are we joking here with PG? On a max contract, by the way. You trade away Jared McCain, who at the very least, man, at the time, like, at least he gave you good vibes. He was like a happy guy. Like, at the very least.
Maxey comes out last night and says he's not going to lie. He misses Jared. That's nice. That's a feel-good story.
And Jared's just, coming off the bench for the defending champs, scoring 20, even with the SGA back. It's disgusting business, man. You talk about the VJ injury last night. Just takes me back to last year when Jared McCain was having so much success. He gets injured. It throws his whole rookie year off. It seems that we can never have anything nice, man. And I don't know. Did you watch on NBC Philly last night, or did you watch like the old school broadcast? It might have been.
I watched the NBC. I watched Kate and Alla. Unfortunately,
watch Kate and Alla. On the Peacock version or the NBC 10, they threw it back to like the 90s, and so they had Doug Collins and Shazar on there. They had it was 3 of them. I can't remember exactly who all was on there, but nonetheless, they were giving it to us just brutally honest throughout the game. Like, there was a point in the game, like there'll be points in the game where we're down like 20, maybe 15. The other team's on a run, and Kate and Alla was like, the Sixers could still get in this. Like, Maxey could hit a couple 3. These guys, they were not having it, bro. They said from the jump, No chance. The Sixers going down. The only thing that was keeping them in it was the 3-pointers at the beginning. They've lost that. They're done. And yeah, by the time you look up, they're down 40, man. Yeah. And they started talking about Joel's injuries and, how talented he really is. But they're old school, man. And they said, what's the best trait? Availability, right? And are you going to be there for when for the team when they need you? Not Joel's fault. It's just exhausting. It's exhausting. And to your point, we had them at the beginning of the year where they played like somewhat decently. Like they had somewhat of an identity without Joel.
It was kind of like Maxey had developed into the next step of stardom where even when the big fella's out, Maxey's good enough to win you games. And it's not that he's not, like you mentioned before the show, like they did just go into Minnesota without Paul and without Joel, and Maxey and VJ go off and they beat Ant and a good team out west like that. So it's in there, but it felt like earlier in the year, middle of the season, when Joel would miss time, it was more consistent. They were still in every ball game. Like I said in the open, man, they're back to being unwatchable. They're back to being not competitive. I know we've joked about their third quarter woes and the scoring struggles at times, and it really doesn't matter if Joel's there, Paul's there, if they're fully healthy or not. He scored 11 points in a fucking third quarter last night. 11. Do you know how hard it is to score 11 points? Scotty, I'm almost not joking. You might have been able to throw out a G League team last night, and they could score 11 or 12 points in an NBA quarter. 11.
Yeah. I don't know. And I get it. It's the Spurs. Like, we get it. It's just we're at a professional level.
I never thought they were going to win that game last night.
What'd you say? I
said I never thought they were going to win that game last night. I know you didn't either.
Not by any means. Not by any means. 15, 20 points, that's acceptable without Joel. I know that sounds horrible. That sounds under 15. Under 15 would be acceptable if it's competitive for 60% of the game. This game was over beginning of the second quarter.
Yeah. Well, they started the game in a 9-0 hole. They didn't score a point in over the first 3 minutes of the game. You're like, oh, wow, it's going to be a long night. And then somehow, some way, it's like 19-17 or 19-18, and threes start falling. Justin Edwards was hitting a couple threes. And it's like, okay, like, they got some fight to them tonight. 46, like, again, like, it just maybe it goes back to the Nick Nurse conversation, just that they're undisciplined in so many ways at times. Like, the matchup you're headed into last night, who's controlling things for San Antonio, a man that's 7'9", essentially.
It's ridiculous.
And Andre Drummond goes out and picks up 2 stupid fouls in the first 2 minutes of the game.
He's unplayable, by the way.
Our only 7-footer on the roster without Joel.
Yeah.
And the first one, whatever, but the second one, you just came in and pushed Wemby from behind for a board that you weren't getting. Like, it's just such a lack of discipline. And then you have a Dembona on his best day, 6'10", having to play center against the San Antonio Spurs. And you just put him into a bad spot. I did want to throw this to you as well. Like when Marcia says, Jeopardy, you had a positive outlook about this team. I want to be very specific why I titled the show that. I like this team's playoff lives are starting to creep into jeopardy. Now, they'll make the playoffs. I think they'll be at minimum a playing team. But I'm telling you right now, Joel Embiid misses 2 more games. VJ Edgecombe has to miss 3 games. They are going to get bypassed by the Heat, Magic, or both. That's going to happen. And then you're talking play-in territory where it's one and done. And the reason I say Jeopardy is this was a team that I thought was a top 4 or 5 team in the Eastern Conference when fully healthy. This was a team that I thought would win a series and have one of their best chances in an Eastern Conference this year to get to an Eastern Conference Finals. And it's slowly slipping away because it's the same fucking story. Yeah. They can't stay healthy. This happens to no other team in the league, man. And it's because it's not just Joel. It's Kelly's sick, missing his 2nd straight game.
Yeah. VJ down on the hip.
Yeah. Top 4 or 5. Absolutely. Oh. I thought they were a top 5 team. When Joel's averaging 30, Maxey's an all-star starter. Paul George was getting in the form. VJ looks like VJ does. Yeah, I thought they were a top 5 team in this conference.
Some of it is the Eastern Conference too. I
Yeah,
mean, we've
sure.
got the Raptors, the
Yeah.
Hawks, the Hornets are in a play-in spot right now. Like the Eastern Conference, we're not asking them to be a top 5 seed in the West. Like the
No.
West is a whole different ball game out
But
there, but
in
the
this
East is
conference
not
this
like
year with
that.
how they were playing and what the competition was like, absolutely.
The East is not like that. But no,
No.
I do. I feel you, man. It just feels like this organization has like some bad like juju around it, some bad karma, like just like loser energy. And it started at the trade deadline because where were you at mentally when the Jared McCain trade happened? And I'm not saying it all went downhill like because of Jared McCain. I'm just saying at that point,
Yeah.
you get the McCain news. I can't remember. Did the PG suspension? It came right around the same time.
PG got suspended right before the deadline. It might have been like the day, or it might have been the weekend leading into the McCain trade.
So let's
Like
say the PG suspension started the downhill climb because I'm Duke bias. We'll say the PG suspension started that slide, but we're talking about Andre Drummond last night, man, and for the last like maybe a month or so, he has been unplayable. I would rather see Bona out there as much as possible rather than Drummond. And I get it, he's shooting the three from time to time and hitting them, but no, man, I would rather see Bona out there. But to that point, you go out, you trade Jerry McCain. All right, we all tried to wrap our heads around that, right? Like, all right, they move McCain because they're going to go and they're going to try to make a move to upgrade elsewhere. Well, they didn't do that. And so, like, that's where I get this, like, sense of, like, loser mentality. Like, Nick Nurse, are you not frantic right now? Your job should be on the line. Daryl Morey, your job should be on the line right now. And it just does not feel like it is, man. And that's what's kind of bothering me about this organization is, like, we'll go throughout the rest of this season, and they're just going to throw the blame back on this Joel shit. And
no,
like,
and
to an extent, sure.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you look at these fourth quarters, you look at these third quarters with Nick Nurse leading the way, the shit looks suspect. The rotation looks suspect. The lack of using Jared McCain at the beginning of the season looks suspect. There's a lot of things that look very suspect with this roster construction. No moves at the deadline. Like, and we know what the owner's about. So, like, that is just, I feel very, like, you can tell, I feel very hopeless, man, because
I think someone just ran a poll. I saw this on X. I think Ryan Rothstein had tweeted it out. But apparently, like, someone just did a poll on, like, the worst ownership management groups or whatever. Yeah. And over, like, 4,000 votes, what is it, Harrison Blitzer or Blitzer and Harris, whatever it is. Were voted like the third worst like ownership group in, like, I don't know if it's sports or the NBA specifically or what, but you asked me like what was I feeling, and to Martian's point, like, he's talking about, when did you have any confidence? I mean, this was a good basketball team with three of its stars playing, two of their stars playing, I should say, both at a very high level. They go on that West Coast, they won 1, 2, 3, 4. They won 7 out of 8 going back to early February. Yeah. That's right before the trade deadline, like you're talking about. So on the floor, I was in on this team.
Some big wins too. Yeah.
Nice. And then we discussed the deadline. It wasn't just shipping out McCain. It was just the whole vibe of not trying to do anything at this
because they didn't upgrade the backup center either. That's what I was trying to get at when I was listening. All
could
this
have done anything to make the backup better. Add 1 3-point shooter. Add something, Scotty.
Yeah.
Well, you had the 3, whatever. But Joel makes the comment about not wanting the Ducks to tax. Tyrese makes a comment last night about how he misses Jared, and that's when I was out on the organization. I'm done with this organization.
They can't read a room.
No. But the team, when fully healthy, was good enough to still compete. They're going through too much again. Yeah. They are, like, so that's where I'm at. And the McCain thing, look, I know it's from one extreme to the other. It's from the Sixers to the defending champs, the juggernaut, right?
Yeah.
But this just has to show you how bad of a coach Nick Nurse is. Because everyone in the comments, they weren't wrong. And Martian, you weren't wrong. Pumper wasn't wrong saying, there's nowhere in Nurse's rotation. Nurse won't play him. There's nowhere in his offense that sure. But that's an indictment on Nick Nurse's ideology, not on the player. So you just said, fuck it. Let's move on from the 21-year-old that could shoot 40% from three.
Yeah.
Because the coach doesn't want to play him.
Bro.
And now he's out there doing this.
Bro,
every night, 18, 20, 21, 15.
Somebody pointed it out on X, Buddy Hield, how excited we were to get Buddy Hield in this.
They couldn't use him.
Couldn't use him either. Like he has a hard time finding spacing for shooters for whatever fucking reason. And the other thing that I'll throw to you, bro, like when you watch the game, and maybe not last night because VJ got injured, but against the Celtics, for example, the offense is just there will be times where VJ's dribbling out at the top of the key, and he looks over at Maxey, and Maxey says, "No, you do it." I see it so many times throughout the game. They just like, "No, you go score," and it's like that's the offense. Let me get the ball to Maxey. He's gonna score. We're gonna run a pick and roll. He's gonna use the screen to try to get his own shot. It's just so like basic, man. Yep. And once again, I'm just like, this loser organization, you just think about what they do. Like, they brought in Nick Nurse, a championship-winning head coach. However he did it, comes here, he fucking sucks. Right. Doc Rivers, the championship head coach, maybe he was washed by the time he got to us. Yeah. Whatever, we couldn't do anything. You look back, those were the best years. As much as we might look back on Doc and not, like the history, it was probably the best years. I think about James Harden, as good as he was, he is a perennial loser. He's never won at the top. Tobias Harris, Paul George, perennial losers, never won at the top. And don't get me wrong, in the moment, I'm excited for these things, but I think that just speaks to how loser of an organization that we are, that we get excited for these lowly happenings. Yeah. Like, yes, Paul George, the guy that has never won a championship. And I know there was guys out there that did not like it, but I'm speaking for myself. I was just happy to like do something. And that's the type of loser organization we are. And you look at OKC, that's what bothers me even more about the McCain trade, is that you give it to a great organization and they'll maximize him. You give it to a team that'll maximize them just to make you look like even more of an asshole. So,
and I get it. Like, we talked ourselves into it. We shouldn't be shocked, but it's like the history of the year before Darryl paid Paul George. He came off of playing 74 regular season games out of 82, played in the postseason, averaged 23 and 41.5% from three.
Yeah.
And he can't step on the basketball court for us.
Yeah.
He can't play. Whether he's hurt, whether he gets himself suspended. Yeah. And we're getting all the tweets, right? We're getting all the reports that he is really taking up a mentorship, leadership role in his absence. He's very active in practices. Whoop the fucking
fine.
Good for you. Cool. We already have one coach that gets to dress in a uniform. That's Coach Lowry, okay? We don't need a second.
They like Tobias for the same reasons.
It's very frustrating. And then you get the leak this morning or yesterday, whenever it was, that Darryl made a pursuit or checked in on Kawhi at the deadline. Okay, so you went from checking in on Kawhi and Leonard to ducking the tax and trading Jared McCain.
Check in on Ant Edwards and Steph Curry too. Like,
and I get it, the Clippers' situation's much different. They were empty in house. Maybe maybe that's available as well. Harden gets moved, but it now, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, now it's getting leaked. Like, McCain's popping off in Oklahoma City. The Sixers are in a losing slump, and this little pro Darryl leak gets let out that, well, he tried to get Kawhi. Like,
if he did, like, good on him.
I agree,
right? Like, absolutely. But no, man, I've gone up and down with Daryl Morey. He is the guy that drafted Max. He is the guy that drafted McCain. He is the guy that drafted Edgecombe. Or I guess he kind of lucked into that, but he did select him at 3. Like, there was speculation.
He just doesn't. I'll tell you what, man. I'm indifferent. Not indifferent on Daryl Morey. I'm very down on Daryl Morey right now. I would like to Pumper's point. that there are things that Daryl Morey does very well as a GM. He does have accomplishments since becoming the Sixers general manager. Like he did draft Tyrese Maxey at 21 or in the 20s.
Yeah.
Obviously just fucking traded him away, but did draft Jared McCain a year and a half ago. When he first came over, remember that? I mean, we all remember the mess that was Al Horford and the Josh Richardson contract, and immediately got all out of that. And we were I think we became the 1 seed in the East the year after Daryl took over and got us out of that disaster. To me, he just doesn't have the screws to finish the job.
Yeah.
He'll never be good enough to put together the right roster at the correct time that fits.
Yeah.
And he'll make the splash moves, like you mentioned, a couple of them that he's brought in as well. And it never fits well.
I wish we had James Harden right now, man. I wish we had James Harden instead of Paul George. That was, outside of maybe that year with Jimmy, right? Like, Embiid wasn't in the form that he was in at that time with Jimmy. So even that doesn't.
But the timelines have never added up, right? Because
that
Harden came here and Harden had moments of 45 in the playoffs, and it was special. And Embiid was MVP, but of course you had a younger version of Tyrese Maxey at that point. You didn't have Tyrese Maxey that could do the things he could do now.
But I blame Morey for not allowing Harden to stay here long enough to get to this Maxey. That's where we have Harden in China calling Morey a liar in a nightclub. That's a fucking issue. Regardless of
James is also half a brain as well, but
that's a red flag to have to just have your GM.
It ain't that, man. It's just that everything he does just goes wrong.
I wish we had James Harden instead of Paul George right now. We need a facilitator. We need a playmaker right now. I would take it in him. Light years. We need the shooting. We need all of it. And he's actually playing for the Cavs. So the Cavs are competing for a championship in the East. They want him. He'll want to be Garland for him.
He'll want to be in New York in the offseason, or he'll want to be somewhere else in the offseason. But
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's up with this Sixers team. I will tell you this, man. 8.5-point favorites against the Jazz tonight somehow.
I've never wanted to bet against the Sixers so badly in my life. And I don't mean money. I don't mean the Jazz on the money line. No Joel, no Paul George, no Kelly tonight. On the second half of a back-to-back. I would take anyone getting 8.5 against this team right now.
Maxey didn't play much in that second half last night, along with the other guys. Quentin Grimes had a resounding 2 points last night.
Yeah.
But no,
to kind of move it on.
He is playing for the Cavs right now, though, with the broken hand.
Yeah.
He did play last night.
To Martians, here's the problem with this time right now, man. Change the topic. It's a dead horse. It's like, yeah, sure, I agree with you. You want to talk about AJ Brown rumors? Because once again, AJ Brown is apparently more likely than not to be traded than not be traded at this point. I mean, what the fuck?
We're like shopping him, but not shopping him. Like, it's just so goofy. It's so goofy. We might replace him with Mike Evans.
Too much. Howie says he's in the business of keeping good players, and AJ's a great player. Mike Vrabel's publicly and openly tampering at the moment.
Everybody's saying something different too. Garofalo says that the Eagles want this, and this will get AJ Brown. I think it's Albert Breer? I'm getting names mixed up.
Albert Breer is one, yeah.
He says the Eagles are not going to move AJ Brown. So it's coming from different sources, and I don't know what the truth is.
It's frustrating.
Quite honestly. Patriots did release Stephon Diggs today, though. Interesting.
Sure, I mean, he'll be back on a boat in the summer.
The
weather? Yeah, all my snow's melted, and it's going to be like 70 here on Saturday. I'm fucking pumped. It's March.
Right in time for the Sixers to lose to the Hornets in the play-in.
It is conference tournament time. Now, obviously not the best conference tournament week. There's a game on earlier. Fucking Jacksonville versus Bellarmine. Couldn't tell you what conference they're in, but
interesting.
Conference tournament season has started. Oh yeah, they released Stephon.
Yep.
The Cardinals released Kyler. Who's gotten franchise tagged so far?
George Pickens.
Mm-hmm. There's been like 3 or 4. Daniel Jones
this morning. Daniel Jones, yeah. So they're gonna let Alec Pierce, who I guess is a big name.
Brees Hall got franchise tagged.
Brees Hall. Who is the
Chiefs did just trade Trent McDuffie to the Rams.
To the Rams. That was a good trade for the Rams. Yeah. I guess both ways in hindsight, but I'm trying to think of who the other guy. I know Jalen Coker, he got like some tender thing where they pay him the minimum in Carolina, and he was solid for them last year. Who got the franchise tag this morning? Why is it slipping my mind?
Was it Brees?
It was a pretty big name.
Brees Hall?
It might have been Brees Hall. Maybe that is who it was. I just remember
the Bengals told Trey Hendrickson he can move on. That's fucking crazy.
They are horribly ran. That's a horribly ran organization.
All right, let's get into this conversation.
Yeah. Which one?
The Birds, because I'm trying to think of what would get me most excited. Not most excited, because like I'm sure I could put together a quick order of excitement, but like, you know, Jalen Phillips apparently is their top priority right now on in terms of the defensive free agents, which absolutely like 1,000% on board. But like you've seen the Max Crosby rumors, and now Trey Hendrickson is on the board, but you know that the Carter and Davis extensions are coming.
Yeah.
What would you do? Because it's an all-in move. It is an all-in move if you sign Trey Hendrickson or trade for Max Crosby or whatever, and it puts in jeopardy like those extensions next year. Like you're basically saying I'm trying to go win a Super Bowl again this season.
Right. And I think we don't have to extend Jalen Carter, right? But it would be ideal. No. But Jordan Davis, we do have to get something done.
I think I'm
pretty sure. It's a tough situation. It does. It just depends what the market value. Like Trey Hendrickson, did he play at all last year?
Did he? Yeah. I think he did. No?
I know he sat out for a good part of it. Let me just look it up real quick.
I got you. 2025, 11 combined tackles and 5 assists, 4 sacks. So
7 games. Yeah. Okay. So
all right. Well, 4 sacks in 7 games.
Yeah.
Still, the math's still mathing.
I think I would take Phillips over Hendrickson just those two specifically. I think I'll take Phillips over Hendrickson just because you're keeping it in house. I would imagine you keep Phillips, you're getting it at a more decent price than Hendrickson, who's searching for that contract.
Yeah.
And I think it just gives you better security towards keeping Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter in house. And I just think we have not seen the best of Jalen Phillips. That was a mid-season trade for Jalen Phillips where he has to come over, just hop right in, and he immediately becomes like our premier pass rusher on that defensive line. I just think we have not even seen him close to his ceiling. You get an off season with the team. You get him back in with the same guys. He's already been under Vic Fangio, had success before. The concern with Phillips, obviously, is the injury history. I think that is the one thing that does hold you back a bit. But Max Crosby, I think he clears those guys. I think if you can get something done, it's just like, what is the line there? What is your line for getting something done? Because I do, part of me does feel like we need this first round pick this year. Whether it's like tight, I don't know, whether it's like secondary in the defense. I think we need that draft pick. But yeah, if you could get Max Crosby for what, a first and a second?
Technically, he had 5. Pumper, he had 3 in Miami. But yeah, he had a down year in terms of pressure. But I think it was evident, especially in the big time game, like when he first came over and we had the Detroit game and we had the Green Bay game. He made an impact immediately. Now, I think that did like kind of fizzle out, but the whole team down the stretch of the season fizzled out in a sense.
Trying to see, how old is Hendrickson?
Late 20s.
Because that is if I'm being honest, that's one thing that's drawing me back. He's 31. I mean,
is he? Yeah, he is. Damn.
How old is Phillips? Like 26, 27?
Yeah, 26. It's a big difference. Yeah.
26. Injury history, though. I mean, it depends on the price for Hendrickson. I think that's what it would come down to. I get it. Like, yeah, Hendrickson is the more.
What about what's the price commodity. What's the price for Max Crosby?
Max Crosby? I mean,
trade value. What are you giving up?
If you, I think my line would be like multiple firsts. Like, if you want to take like my next 2 firsts, like, no, I'm not gonna do that. But if you want like the first and the second, first and a third, I'd probably do it, man. What's he want? What's he want on his next contract? Is that the reason? I may be lost here on why he wants out of Las Vegas.
I think so. They also fucking stink.
They do suck. Yeah,
he's also just 28 years old. He's my age as well.
Would you do AJ Brown for Max? Take it in this stance. AJ is not content being here. That's the only reason the Eagles will move AJ, because he is just too integral as far as a part of this team. Like, he is a core piece to this team. If they move on, it's because AJ wants to leave. We know Max Crosby would fucking love to come here. Like, he's in.
What are you adding? What are you attaching to AJ?
To be a fucking Sixers fan.
Yeah. What are you attaching to AJ? You got to attach something there. They're not going to do nothing. AJ for Max.
I'm not. No, I'm not attaching it. They're the same age, 28. AJ is more accomplished. I don't know. Maybe I'm viewing like wide receiver value, edge value. Is that? I don't know. Am I tripping? Because they're exactly the same age, aren't they? 28, 20, 29?
They're 28. They're 28. Like, because you know my stance. I don't want to get rid of AJ Brown either. Like you said, that the condition is that this, like, the stipulations that he does want to leave, and that's where what can I get?
Make that clear.
I'm not just trading AJ Brown and trading for Max, but I'm saying on the condition that AJ Brown does want out. I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Best case scenario.
I'm saying it for this. If you're Vegas and your timeline right now.
Yeah, why would you want AJ?
Not just why would you want AJ, but if you can get AJ and a third or something like that compared to a first and whatever. But if it's just AJ, or you could get an offer for 2 firsts or a first, a second, and a fourth, you're going to take the draft compensation over AJ at 28 right now when you have no trajectory to win in the next half decade.
That's fair. Yeah, it would have to be like a gentleman's agreement between the Raiders and the Eagles, right? Like, both these guys unhappy, let's just swap them. Doesn't ever really play out like that, but I don't know.
And here's where I'm at when it comes to a good
way to show the line, though, for Crosby. That's why I bring it up, because he is that good that you can discuss it.
I think Hendrickson's. I get the 31. I get that. Dude had like 18 sacks a year and a half ago. I think, put it this way. People are so caught up in Howie being ahead of the curve and these extensions that are coming up, and Jalen Carter's one of one. Like, I wholeheartedly agree. Jalen Carter needs to be here basically his entire career.
Yeah.
The people that are like, he's got Carter and Davis in this, brother. I'm not letting Jordan, and don't get Jordan Davis played a major role the last year. I'm not letting Jordan Davis get in the way of Max Crosby or Trey. I'm paying, and I'm trading and paying Max Crosby, or I'm paying Trey Hendrickson knowing that Jordan Davis is leaving in a year or 2. That's where I'm at. I ain't letting a Jordan Davis extension get in the way of Max Crosby or Trey Hendrickson. Ain't doing it.
I don't know, man.
You already have it. You already have Moro Ujomo.
I can't go that far. I don't know.
I'm Scott, bro. Talent, like you're talking impact on your football team, impact to go help you win. You think Jordan Davis is more impactful than Max Crosby or Trey Hendrickson coming off the edge for this defense?
Crosby, yes. Crosby, I'm not putting Crosby and Hendrickson in the same combo.
It's not the same tier. It's Crosby,
Hendrickson needs to play.
But
Like,
Hendrickson still clears.
Like,
Crosby for sure is on his own platform when it comes to those two specifically. I mean, brother, we're talking 17 and a half, 17 and a half, 4 in 7 games because he didn't feel like playing for them anymore. That's what he's done since 2023. Before that, 8. Before that, 14. Before that, 13 and a half. I get the age. I'm not going to downplay that. 17 and a half sacks.
It's just I don't know, man. It's the middle of that defense. I do get it. The pressure, the sacks versus stuff in the run and like what's more important. I do get it. I don't know, man.
I'll tell you.
I don't know. I have a hard time. I have a hard time getting over Nakobe leaving because it's an attachment to this group that has been here. And I'd be lying if I said I don't have attachment to those guys.
I agree. Like, I'm not just trying to throw. Right. I'm not just trying to throw
because I don't know about breaking up
my last name to the wind. I'm not trying to do that.
I just don't know about breaking up those boys in that defensive line.
Understood.
Like deliberately, if that makes sense. Like on purpose. Nakobe, we can't really control if he goes out and he gets a.
But then at the same time, because you did like the cap space, I think went up $30 million for this upcoming year.
Yeah,
and it's just going to keep going up.
Yeah.
At the same time, like by the time you get to like the Davis and Carter extension, like the Carter thing is on its own. Like, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What is Jordan?
I agree with that.
What is Jordan Davis worth on the open market? Because he's not a pass rusher at all from the middle. Like when Milton Williams got paid $100 million from New England, he was coming off a season on the interior and wreaking havoc in quarterbacks' faces in the playoffs and in the Super Bowl on the biggest stage. Jordan Davis is around. I can find some big boys through the draft to come and clog the middle and play. Maybe not to the extent he can, but
I don't know. I feel like Jordan Davis was extra good last year.
To me, that's more replaceable than finding a dude that can get me double-digit sacks off the edge. Because those dudes just aren't flying around. We took Nolan Smith in the first round 2 years ago. Nolan Smith ain't coming in and getting you 12, 11, 13 sacks. He was a first-round pick.
Yeah.
So, like, they're not so easy to find. A big dude that can clog up the middle and take bodies on as they try to stop the run, I can find some big bodies.
I don't know. You know what sticks in my head? Like the fact Jordan Davis he didn't win us games. He sealed us a couple games last year, 2 games.
I remember his big body running.
Like he was moving differently last year. If I know that's a hard question to answer. Are you going to get that from him again? Can he raise another level? I don't know that he can do that. But if he gives me what he gave me last year, It's like, yes, if it's like I'm losing Jalen Phillips or Trey Hendrickson, then yeah, I would let Jordan Davis go before I go without addressing the edge.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's like I can keep Jordan Davis and if I keep Jalen Phillips,
sure, 1,000%. I hear you. I'm not gonna be mad at whatever happens, right? And
so that's the best way for me to put it. It's not that Jordan Davis is like this untouchable player moving forward.
It's just an interesting spot.
He did have more sacks than Jalen Carter last year, though.
It's an interesting spot because
Carter's 3.
It's a position that we know how he values so much, and he's willing to invest in and trade draft capital for. And it's not just one guy or two guys. Like you have a guy in house right now, like you mentioned with Jalen Phillips, but within a day, you're getting the Max Crosby rumors. You get this Cincinnati and Trey Hendrickson news and his posts on social media. So now there's multiple kings on the chessboard that Howie could go and try to make a move on.
Mekhi Becton just got released today as well. You know what leaves me so uncertain going into this offseason, man? It is honestly the way the offensive line played last year. How many holes do we really have on the offensive line moving forward? I don't know. I don't know. That's what puts me in a tough headspace.
How many holes do we have in the offensive line? All right. For this season, I'll tell you 1 to 2. For the future, and in which you're going to have to start to invest like soon for it and putting in draft capital now for it, I could find a way to tell you 4.
4. Yeah.
Like we didn't know if Lane was coming back now.
Right.
Maybe you got 1 more year.
Right. You need to draft Lane's replacement.
If Landon's already having these question marks going off in his head about his future and his body, and because I promise you Landon Dickerson's getting hurt again this year, and he's going to have to battle through injuries.
Yeah.
That's more wear and tear. We have no fucking idea what Cam Jurgens is. Oh, he's a Pro Bowler. I don't know how that dude made a Pro Bowl.
No.
But he was awful this year.
Agreed.
I'm not including Mailata on my list of concerns right now. Mailata was bad last year. Yeah. And I'm just not a Tyler Steen guy. I'm just I'm not. I think the drop off from Becton to Steen was noticeable this year in what the Eagles tried to do behind them. So for this year, I'll tell you Steen, possibly question mark with Jurgens. What you're going to have to start replacing in the next calendar year, right tackle, possibly left guard, right guard. So
yeah. Because I even look at Lane like in kind of that same light as Landon. Like he probably will get injured at some point during next year. He's just at that age in his career. He's that old. Absolutely. It's a physical position. I think, ideally, if you could get Mekhi Becton back and just have like a nice little 3 rotation with him, Steen, and Dickerson.
Yep. And then Steen becomes a depth piece. I'm all for
exactly. That. Yeah. You just have him there if Landon has to go out that week, right? And same thing with Becton if he has to go out. But yeah, no, that's what gives me so much uncertainty. We've already heard Goddard's going to be on the way out. I've heard that I've seen like interest in Njoku. That doesn't really make sense to me. I feel like they would go young at the tight end position, but I don't know. Yeah. It's hard to.
I would take it. Like I would gladly take David Njoku on like a 1 year gap stop fill. Right.
Yeah.
The kid from Oregon. Did you see his 40 time?
Yeah, he looks like a freak, dude.
He can fucking move, dude. But, all right, your audio to video is getting a little off. We've been on for 45 minutes. Let's wrap this bad boy up.
I was going to say I'm echoing
on Friday. Yeah, your mouth is moving like 2 seconds before the words start coming out, and it's getting a little off. But
weird. Yeah.
Maybe it's just on my end. Who knows? But we'll be back.
No, I hear Friday. It too. I hear the
Andrew
echo.
Painter made his spring training debut over the weekend. 2 perfect innings. Justin Crawford has played well early on in spring. Bryson Stott's playing well. Alec Boehm homer today. We're going to start getting into Phillies talk. I know Pumper, they suck. And Martian, they suck. And we're talking Phillies. We're going to be talking Phillies all summer, all spring, and into the fall. So get ready for it and bring your A game, guys. So we'll talk to you guys on Friday. Make sure to subscribe, follow on X at DSM_media. Check us out on TikTok as well. That's in our link tree in our bio too. So enjoy the rest of your night. Yeah, boo yourself, pal. Peace out, everybody.